Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that!
Jeremy Wade's fascination with rivers and the creatures that inhabit them began at an incredibly young age. Growing up in England, he would spend hours by the riverbank, studying the water, observing the fish, and imagining the unseen monsters lurking beneath the surface. While other children dreamed of playing football or becoming astronauts, young Jeremy dreamed of catching legendary fish that the locals whispered about but feared to approach. He was not just curious, he was obsessed. That curiosity guided his education, and after completing school, Jeremy pursued zoology at Bristol University. He excelled academically, learning the scientific foundations that would later become crucial in his career. But academic life alone could not satisfy his adventurous spirit. The structured, predictable world of lectures and laboratories felt confining, and Jeremy knew he wanted something more. He wanted to explore the world, to uncover creatures unknown to the public, and to experience rivers in remote, often dangerous environments. In his 20s and 30s, he abandoned the conventional path, traveling across continents, living in remote regions, and surviving with minimal resources. His survival skills were extraordinary. He slept in hammocks, ate what he could catch, and navigated unfamiliar landscapes without modern conveniences. He relied heavily on his knowledge of fish behavior, river ecosystems, and local communities, who often possessed information passed down through generations. Jeremy Wade's life at this time was challenging, even dangerous. He traveled through jungles, swamps, and remote rivers where access to medical care was limited, and natural hazards were a constant threat. But he persisted, motivated by curiosity and the desire to understand the mysteries of freshwater ecosystems. To support himself, he wrote articles for fishing magazines, sharing his discoveries and insights with the public. He became well known within niche circles for his expertise, but mainstream recognition remained elusive. During these years, he developed skills that would later define him on television. The ability to track elusive species, handle dangerous situations calmly, and communicate complex scientific ideas in a clear and engaging way. In 2004, Jeremy received his first opportunity on television with a small, low-budget show called Jungle Hooks. The program focused on exotic fish and adventurous fishing expeditions, but it lasted only a year. Although the show ended quickly, it introduced Jeremy to the production side of television and offered a glimpse of what was possible. Despite this small taste of fame, he returned to obscurity, continuing his expeditions and writing articles. Over the next decade, he accumulated unparalleled knowledge of dangerous freshwater predators, including giant catfish, electric eels, bull sharks, and Goliath tigerfish. He learned not only about their behavior, but also about how to safely navigate rivers where these creatures lived. Jeremy Wade's unique combination of scientific knowledge, survival skills, and courage made him stand out. Unlike other explorers who exaggerated danger for television, Jeremy was authentic. He understood the risks genuinely and respected the creatures he pursued. This combination of expertise, humility, and daring made him a perfect candidate for a show that could blend science, adventure, and entertainment. He was ready when opportunity knocked. In 2009, Animal Planet executives were searching for a new type of show, something that would combine adventure, danger, and authenticity. His decades of experience, calm demeanor, and scientific knowledge made him perfect for a program that required both courage and credibility. On April 5, 2009, River Monsters premiered, beginning with Jeremy investigating piranha attacks in the Amazon. The series immediately captured viewers' attention, not just because of the dangerous creatures, but because of Jeremy himself. Unlike other hosts, he did not exaggerate the peril or stage fake moments for dramatic effect. When he warned that a fish was dangerous, it truly was. When he sustained injuries on camera or became exhausted after days in hostile conditions, it was real. Audiences could trust what they saw, and that trust was critical to the show's success. River Monsters quickly became the most-watched show in Animal Planet history. Jeremy traveled across 6 continents, visiting more than 60 countries, to explore rivers that were often remote, challenging, and sometimes deadly. One week, he was in Alaska pursuing giant sleeper sharks. The next, he was in India tracking catfish rumored to consume human corpses. Then, Thailand for stingrays. Then the Congo for the legendary Goliath tigerfish. The show's production team was small but highly skilled, and medical staff were always on standby. Despite the precautions, the danger was real. Jeremy consistently put himself at risk, demonstrating not only his bravery, but also his deep respect for the animals and ecosystems he explored. The authenticity of the show extended to education. Jeremy narrated each episode with explanations about fish behavior, ecology, and the environmental challenges affecting freshwater species. Audiences were not only entertained, but also informed. Scientists and academics began citing river monsters in discussions about marine biology and ichthyology, a rare feat for a reality show. Certain episodes became cultural phenomena. His adventures with Greenland sharks in the Arctic, investigations of catfish in Chernobyl, and encounters with invasive snakehead fish in America captivated viewers and inspired schools to incorporate episodes into biology curricula. Jeremy's approach was different because it blended education, adventure, and genuine danger. Unlike scripted reality television, the risks he faced were real, and the rewards were both thrilling and enlightening. His fame grew steadily. River Monsters consistently drew over 1 million viewers per episode, and the series maintained high ratings throughout its 9-season run. Jeremy became a global figure, admired not only for his bravery, but also for his knowledge and professionalism. Celebrities and experts alike praised him. Bear Grylls recognized the authenticity of his work, and marine biologists highlighted his contributions to freshwater ecology. But behind the camera, the demands were exhausting. Constant travel, unpredictable rivers, extreme weather, and physical danger were unavoidable. Jeremy endured fatigue, injuries, and illness. His dedication to authenticity meant that stunts could not be staged or avoided. The mental and physical toll grew heavier with each expedition. By the early 2010s, Jeremy's resilience was tested more than ever. During a trip to the Congo River, he contracted cerebral malaria, a severe and often deadly strain of the disease. Symptoms appeared quickly: weakness, dizziness, inability to eat, and eventual collapse. He was far from proper medical facilities, and evacuation was urgent. For 6 weeks, Jeremy fought for his life, losing over 20 pounds and suffering lingering effects long after recovery. Crew members later admitted they genuinely feared they might lose him. This incident underscored the enormous cost of authenticity in adventure television. Despite the fame and recognition, Jeremy's work carried real danger, and the network's demands placed him at continual risk. It became clear that sustaining the show at the same intensity was increasingly unsustainable. While ratings remained strong, the physical and mental toll on Jeremy and his crew could not be ignored. The dangers that entertained millions were slowly endangering the man at the center of the adventure. Eventually, the cumulative risks and pressures led to the end of River Monsters. Contrary to what fans might assume, the series did not conclude due to low ratings or lack of interest. It ended because the combination of extreme travel, life-threatening conditions, and Jeremy Wade's health and safety made continuation unsafe. The network and production team recognized that the authenticity which made the show special also made it inherently dangerous. Filming dangerous freshwater predators in remote rivers could not be sustained indefinitely. Jeremy himself understood that the series' survival depended not on more episodes, but on preserving his life and well-being. Despite ending the show, his legacy remains remarkable. River Monsters changed the way audiences viewed adventure television. It demonstrated that reality programming could be both educational and thrilling, that danger could be real, and that scientific understanding could coexist with entertainment. Jeremy Wade's influence extended far beyond the show. The program raised awareness about freshwater ecosystems, inspired budding biologists, and helped local communities involved in fishing and wildlife conservation. Episodes like the Arctic Greenland sharks, Chernobyl catfish, and the Goliath tigerfish in the Congo remain iconic examples of blending education with suspense. His approach inspired a new generation of explorers and educators to take risks for knowledge, demonstrating that curiosity and courage could create extraordinary outcomes. River Monsters also highlighted the human cost of adventure television. Jeremy's near-death experience from cerebral malaria serves as a reminder that authenticity in media comes with real consequences. The decision to end the show was a responsible acknowledgement of these risks. Today, Jeremy Wade continues to educate, write, and consult, passing on the knowledge and experience gained over decades of fieldwork. His story is more than entertainment. It is a lesson in passion, perseverance, and respect for nature. River Monsters remains a benchmark for adventure programming, remembered for its thrilling exploration of freshwater predators and the extraordinary man at its center. For fans, the series is a legacy of courage and knowledge. For aspiring explorers and scientists, it is an example of dedication and authenticity. And for Jeremy Wade, it is a testament to a life spent chasing curiosity, facing danger head-on, and sharing the wonders of the natural world with millions across the globe. In the end, River Monsters didn't just entertain, it educated, inspired, and changed perceptions forever. Its conclusion was not the end of adventure, but a pause in a life devoted to discovery. Jeremy Wade's story reminds us that behind every thrilling adventure is a human being, balancing passion, risk, and responsibility, and that sometimes ending a chapter is the bravest decision of all. For over a decade, Jeremy Wade was the face of River Monsters, a show that captured the imagination of audiences worldwide. Fans loved watching him wade into rivers, handle massive fish, and face dangers that most people could only imagine. Every episode seemed like a thrilling adventure, but behind the scenes, Jeremy's life was far more extreme than anyone could guess. He risked serious injury or death on almost every shoot. One incident in the Amazon perfectly illustrates the dangers he faced. Jeremy was attempting to net a massive arapaima, a fish weighing between 70 and 80 pounds. As he approached, the fish lunged at him with incredible force, striking his chest. In his own words, it felt like being hit by a car. The blow knocked the wind out of him, caused severe chest pain, and left bruises that lasted for 6 weeks. He couldn't sleep properly for months, and medical staff worried about potential internal injuries or cardiac damage. Despite this, Jeremy continued filming the next day. Audiences saw him calmly explaining the arapaima's biology, but no one saw the weeks of suffering behind the camera. Danger did not end with the arapaima. Later, the team filmed episodes featuring electric eels, creatures capable of generating over 500 volts of electricity. That's enough to paralyze an adult man, stop the heart, and even cause drowning. Production staff brought in electrical specialists. Defibrillators were on set, and Jeremy had to wear protective gear while handling these animals. One small mistake could have been fatal. It wasn't a scripted stunt or a controlled scene. It was life or death, repeated season after season. Over time, Jeremy's physical challenges grew. He was in his 60s, but he continued traveling to remote locations, standing in rivers for 12 hours straight, and carrying heavy equipment, often alone. Fans saw a composed, confident presenter, but behind the scenes, his body was enduring extreme stress. Crew members noticed the toll. He struggled with equipment, fought exhaustion, and silently endured injuries. Every expedition tested his limits. Despite these hardships, Jeremy refused to compromise on authenticity. Many television productions might have faked dangerous scenes, used actors, or staged encounters. He insisted on capturing reality, on showing the true behavior of the animals, and respecting the ecosystems he explored. This commitment meant repeated exposure to extreme conditions, dangerous wildlife, strong currents, tropical diseases, unpredictable weather, and isolation from medical help for hours or days. Over time, these physical risks accumulated. A single mistake could have ended his life, yet he continued, driven by a dedication to truth, education, and his fans. Even beyond the danger, he had to handle logistical challenges, arranging travel to remote rivers, negotiating with local guides, ensuring safety for himself and his crew, and coordinating complex filming schedules. Each location presented unique hazards, from crocodiles to piranhas, from electric fish to hidden river currents. The audience saw only the tip of the iceberg, a calm voice explaining fascinating facts. Behind the camera, Jeremy was a man constantly balancing risk, knowledge, and endurance. Every episode was a calculation: how to capture the shot, protect the crew, respect the animals, and survive. This extreme lifestyle was compounded by the expectations of viewers, sponsors, and the network. Fans wanted exciting footage, but they also demanded authenticity. Any mistake or fake scene could undermine credibility. Jeremy knew this, and it added pressure. The show's success depended not just on thrilling moments, but on the reality he captured. He carried that responsibility quietly, often without recognition. Despite decades of dangerous expeditions, Jeremy remained committed to education and conservation. Each fish was more than a monster. It was part of an ecosystem, deserving of respect. While fans celebrated the danger, Jeremy's real victory was bringing awareness to the animals and rivers of the world, often at immense personal cost. The physical and mental strain of this work was extraordinary. He faced life-threatening risks almost daily, yet remained calm, composed, and educational in front of the camera. His courage and dedication were the backbone of the show, but the reality behind the scenes was grueling and often invisible to viewers. Season after season, Jeremy continued to push limits, never shying away from danger, and never allowing shortcuts. Every close call, every painful injury, and every sleepless night was a testament to his integrity and professionalism. It wasn't just about entertainment. It was about truth, science, and respect for nature. And yet, despite his sacrifices, the network began to impose pressures that added a new type of danger: ethical, financial, and emotional, showing that the battle behind the camera could be just as challenging as the one in the rivers. As Jeremy's physical risks accumulated, so did the pressures from Animal Planet. By 2016, the network was shifting towards safer, family-friendly programming, and river monsters became increasingly expensive and unpredictable. Each episode cost roughly $500,000 to produce, including travel to remote locations, specialized camera crews, medical staff, and equipment. In contrast, lighter shows, puppy rescues, treehouse builds, or small-scale reality series cost a fraction of that, around $150,000 per episode. Executives wanted control, predictability, and guaranteed monster catches. They also wanted Jeremy to create drama, exaggerate attacks, stage encounters, or claim that harmless fish were dangerous. For Jeremy, this was unacceptable. He refused to compromise on integrity, insisting that the fish deserved respect and viewers deserved truth. Sources reveal heated debates between Jeremy and executives. The network wanted spectacle, fast-paced content, and personality-driven narratives. Jeremy wanted patience, accuracy, and authentic hunting. These conflicts often appeared subtle to fans, but those who watched closely noticed changes in later seasons. The catches seemed quicker than reality. investigations that sometimes took weeks were condensed into single episodes.